Let me make it crystal clear for you. The formal education is for you to satisfy your Education is obviously important, but there are some huge problems with the way it's structured. When we talk about education, we mainly mean two things: formal education and informal education. Formal education, of course, includes the traditional ways of gathering knowledge and contributing with your newly founded skills to the society. You know, the usual stuff. When you open your eyes to this world, you get everything decided for you and you attend the path that already has been crossed by many others before you. I mean, of course, there's no one to blame. We're products of society, and our choices will be heavily influenced by its overarching presence in our lives, both privately and professionally. You have to stop seeing society as something outside of yourself. You have to start seeing society as this big organism and you being a small part of it. The other part of your education is informal one, the one that you take the responsibility for, the one that is driven by your own curiosity. And as with everything else, there's a huge issue with balance. Balancing both formal part and informal part. Not trying to reinvent the wheel, follow the traditional path by acquiring the wisdom of old wise guys of the past and betting all your life, or at least 40 years of it, on a profession that may or not become dull for you. Something that bores you into depression. And there are, of course, great differences between formal and informal education. The traditional path gives you a great sense of security, safety. You don't have to worry so much about your future because you know that if you do this 10 steps, you will gain this amount of value and you will get all the material necessity that you may or may not eventually need in life. The biggest disadvantage with formal education is that you are always being led. And of course, not everyone meant to become leaders, great role models in this life. But I mean you who watch this kind of content, you do it for a reason, because something in your mind isn't totally satisfied with the way you are living in the present moment. Don't get me wrong, this dissatisfactory feeling is a good thing. I've done videos about our human nature not being content. It's heavily programmed in our biological design to want more, to want bigger, to become better. And not following that hunch, that feeling of yours, will make you suffer. The other part of education, the informal one, is where you do your own research without getting any insurance policy about success of your approach. You have to be confident in your own abilities in order to carry out tasks on your own, discipline yourself, and push your agenda until the end, until something happens. This will surely help you to cultivate that leadership that I was talking about previously. And this leadership is all about being solution oriented. I had this talk with my friend today. We were sharing some personal experiences with working with other people and how it's not obvious to cooperate with others who aren't that solution oriented and always need guidance, need consultation of some sort in order to find the right direction in their path. And that's okay, but what I'm trying to say that if you're accustomed to take care of your own shit, you can be very blinded to others' perspective if you're not dealing with different kind of people all the time. Leadership is one of the key ingredients to fulfilling life. And I am talking about leadership over your own situation, over your own fate. The biggest problem with academia is by the time you are done with it, you are too stubborn, too rigid to gain new perspectives, to form new ideas, because you have built up this huge ego which is almost impenetrable. And by that time, when a change is necessary in your life in order to take next step in your own personal development, you will be too lazy, too stubborn, too arrogant to change your ways. Ultimately, self-improvement is all about finding this infinite love. Love for yourself, this peace of mind, with this serenity that you feel regardless of the circumstances, situations, the people that are surrounding you, because you will understand that there's no bad or good, there's only one state of mind, the truth. This is exactly why you feel discontent while doing monotonous things. Somewhere at the back of your head, a small devil knocks on your brain, tries to reach out to you and convince you that there's something more, because you feel out of touch with reality. Formal education is geared towards upholding a steady societal progression and development. Its growth is dependent upon that, to make sure that those systems are up and running as smoothly as possible. And that's not a bad thing for the whole society, for that vast organism, but for you. for the individual who is seeking some answers. Till this day, for the collective to flourish, the individual has to suffer. In some way, of course. But our future doesn't have to be the same as our past. There's a reason why these kind of questions pop up in your head. And when I talk about education, this is not about for those who are thinking about attending one. This is about something that you have to do as long as you live. Seeking the truth is a lifelong dedication. And it's easy to trip over your own ego, stagnate, and become your own biggest barrier towards happiness. Let me make it crystal clear for you. The formal education is for you to satisfy your material needs. The informal education, the one that is up to you to pursue, is for you to satisfy your spiritual needs. Whether you want it or not, the deepest, the more philosophical questions will always come in your way, and you won't be able to escape those, however far you think you will go. Society doesn't teach you about those things because its survival as of now is dependent on it, the way it is structured today. And also there are very few people on this earth pursuing spiritual journeys, trying to discover the very fabric of existence. Do not strangle your curiosity. Watch this video, it will give you some other perspectives on the topic. But for now, Hossein, out!